We out here. GameStop earnings. Let's get this going. I will pull up the call. Mike's like right in my face. I don't know why I didn't just pull it up. All right, let's get it. Plug my phone in. I wonder if I can call. Let's pull this up just so we don't miss anything. So net sales 1.378 billion for the quarter compared to 1.277 billion in last year's quarter. So better. And then we can pull up the chart. It's kind of going a little bit bonkers after hours. Got some up, got some down, got some up. Going a little bit more across now. Volume's pretty light. But we'll continue to watch this end of the call. Let me get on this call.
Your passcode has been confirmed. Please wait while you are joined into the conference.
Can you guys hear that? Whoa. I can actually got all the tools here. Maybe not. Maybe that does not work. See if I can hear this. Can't tell. Oh, I bet if. Let's do this. It's just the music right now. Probably will be like this for about a half hour. Alrighty, let's see what the chart is doing. Did chroma key black out my... Chroma key blacked out my chroma candles. How does this happen? There, we'll just do that. Not real sure why that was doing that. Net sales. Cost of sales obviously going up. Inflation. Profit went down. Operating loss increased. So loss of $2.08 per share. Grew dramatically. Yeah, so overall it looks pretty bad. So just hoping for some good news on the actual call. It looks like they acquired some debt, long-term debt. Lease liabilities came down. I got a serious NAT problem. Serious NAT problem. So cash equivalents went up more than double. Hardware sales shrunk a little bit, but software increased. Collectibles increased. Net operating losses tripled. Almost quadrupled. Just less than quadrupled. Look at this. Operating activities 303 million. Something's going on in the background. They're doing something big. Doing something big. Turn this down. Okay, so this, the 10Q just got released. Here it is. It's the data that we just saw. Dilution. These are the numbers that we just saw. Hardware sales down, but software and collectibles are up. Turn this up and get closer whenever they get on the call. So they're talking about the wallet they announced. So this doesn't give a launch date on the marketplace. It just says when it launches, second quarter of 2022. So they've got the rest of this month. I would expect it. I mean, surely, hopefully they talk about it on this call. Okay, so that's all just legal. Let's see what this. Yeah, this is just table of contents stuff. Alrighty, we just have to wait. Still just going sideways. Jamming out. This is important here. This is what I want to hear him talk about. Blockchain technology, virtual reality, augmented reality. Mark Zuckerberg's actually on the record stating in interviews that he foresees the future of meta and virtual reality and augmented reality within the next 5 years. So augmented reality stuff could be huge. Could be super, super popular. Likely the future of gaming. Be crazy. Put on like a suit. Step into the metaverse. So about 15 minutes. Yeah, digital asset wallet. Use of cryptocurrencies. I don't know. We just gotta hope that it's not the boring old call. We do have some options that we played, so let's keep an eye on this, and let's see what happens. Got these spikes off pretty much no volume. So here are the numbers again. Net sales, 1.3 billion. Up over last year. It looked like sales of hardware were down, but software and collectibles were up. Inventory is almost $1 billion at the close of the quarter, compared to 570 million at the close of last year's first quarter. So inventory is way higher. I mean, they've got $1 billion on hand, no debt. They've got some low interest unsecured loans associated with French government's response to COVID. So that's at 37 million, I think, that we see on file. So this is kind of interesting. I mean, I really just hope that they talk about this. They continue to hire blockchain people, e-commerce, technology. Historically, their earnings are pretty dry, and historically, their earnings have gone down. So the trends we see on their earnings calls are typically not good after. I believe the last one tanked into earnings. Is that when we tanked like down into 80 and then got the pop back up? Yeah, so this is the last earnings. So we kind of trended down. These lines are... So we trended down from last earnings And then day after, we kind of started to see that trend upward. Sorry, the music. Okay. So still kind of seeing the same thing here. I mean, we trended down into earnings. I mean, just on a much larger scale. So we trended down off of earnings here. So this one kind of more trended up into earnings and then sold off kind of into it and then across. Let's see what this gives us. So earnings. To earnings was a 51% retracement. And then once earnings were released, 155%. And then into this earnings, we've retraced 40%. So we're down 40% going into this earnings from the highs after the last earnings. The highs after this earnings are here. So they kind of, this level of resistance here. Yeah, so 50% into that earnings. We saw the 155% increase, and then we see about a 40% retracement into this earnings call. 40% into this earnings call. Be pretty awesome to see another 155% gainer, but we're double where we were on the last earnings call. Well, not quite double, but 80%. So we were at 77. We're at 120 now. So to see that growth, that spike would be pretty sweet. Boom. Just kidding. Not a bars guy. But I would take that. About 10 minutes left. We will see what they have to say. A lot of buy volume came in at the end of the day. SPY just tanked into close. AMD tanked into close. think this is gonna be better sound. Let's see. Gonna be better sound? Yeah, okay. So as of April 30th, 12.7 million shares of Class A common stock were directly registered with DRS as their transfer agent. 12.7 million shares. What is there, 34 million outstanding? $8.9 million registered at the last earnings. Yeah, so I think is the float 36 million? Who cares? Float's about to be like 500 million after this split. Maybe. So that's a pretty significant increase in direct registered shares, talking about 8.9 million to 12.7 million. So an increase of 3.8 million shares. I wonder if this is the most hyped earnings call. This has to be one of the more hyped ones. Five minutes. 5 minutes. Seeing 409.50 was supposed to hold today at the close for the bulls to remain in control. Like we closed just below it. Probably needed a hold like this level here. Right here. For the, this music's brutal. Yeah, it would have been nice to hold this level right here. See what happens tomorrow on that. $1 billion in cash on hand. So $1 billion in cash on hand and 917 million in inventory. So nearly 2 billion just in goods. Well, $1 billion in cash, and then so arguably like 2 million, nearly 2 million liquid. I heard the Chewy. I think Chewy. Somebody said Chewy was popping. Yeah, Chewy got a pop after hours. Little $5 pop, $6, $6.50 pop. Settling down now. I think it'd have been pretty beat up. Yeah. Alright, cut the shit. Cut the music. Cut the music. Alright, here we go. It's 5 o'clock. It is 5 o'clock. Hey, GME, it's 5 o'clock.
Greetings and welcome to the GameStop First Quarter 2022 Earnings Call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. A brief question and answer session will follow the formal presentation. Correction, there will not be a question and answer session following the formal presentation.
Pain.
If anyone should require operator assistance during the conference, please press *0 on your telephone keypad.
Pain.
It is now my pleasure to introduce your host, Matt Furlong, CEO. Thank you, Matt. You may begin.
Thank you, and good afternoon. We appreciate all of our stockholders' continued passion and support. The enthusiasm remains a differentiator and an extra motivator for all of us at GameStop. We don't take it for granted and never will. Before going over this past quarter's initiatives and results, I also want to once again thank our team for continuing to bring strong focus and intensity to our mission. Change is continuing to be embraced across our stores, fulfillment centers, and offices.
It is not Wu-Tang Clan.
A constant emphasis on the customer is taking hold up and down the organization. This will remain key as we pursue sustained sales growth, establish broader offerings in consumer electronics, and launch new products aligned to the long-term future of gaming. During Q1, we specifically focused on two main areas: continuing to rebuild and strengthen our commerce business after years of underinvestment, and pursuing growth opportunities in the cryptocurrency, NFT, and Web3 gaming verticals, all of which we expect to be increasingly relevant for gamers of the future. With respect to our commerce business, we kept working to pragmatically expand product selection, improve delivery speeds, and strengthen the in-store and online shopping experience. We also made additional investments in our assortment, infrastructure, technology, and talent. Our sizable Q1 investments should help us round out our rebuild cycle. With regard to new offerings geared to the future of gaming, our blockchain team continued to drive progress when it comes to advancing new products, deepening partnerships, and establishing GameStop's presence in digital asset communities. An output of these efforts was last month's launch of the GameStop Wallet, a digital asset wallet that allows gamers and others to store, send, receive, and
I'd like to
use
know downloads on
cryptocurrencies
that.
and NFTs across decentralized apps. The wallet, which has significant downloads and a 5-star rating in the Chrome store, will enable transactions on our new NFT marketplace when it launches in the second quarter. We firmly believe that digital assets are core to the future of gaming. Taken together, we believe these investments and initiatives prioritized over the past quarter are positioning us to become a more diversified and technology-centric business. Let me now turn to our financial results for Q1. Net sales increased 8% to just under $1.4 billion, compared to approximately $1.3 billion during the same period in 2021. As indicated in the past, long-term revenue growth is a primary metric by which we believe stockholders should assess our execution. SG&A was $452.2 million, or 32.8% of sales, compared to $370.3 million, or 29% of sales in last year's first quarter. We reported a net loss of $157.9 million, or $2.08 per diluted share, compared to a net loss of $66.8 million, or loss per diluted share of $1.01 in the prior year's first quarter.
Bad.
There were no major one-time transformation, transaction, or related costs during the period. Turning to the balance sheet, we ended the quarter with cash and cash equivalents of $1.04 billion, roughly $340 million higher than the end of the first quarter last year. We continue to maintain a sizable cash position, even while investing in inventory to improve in-stock levels, meet heightened customer demand, and mitigate the full impact of global supply chain issues. At the end of the quarter, we had no borrowings under our ABL facility and
No supply chain issues with NFTs.
Term loan associated with the French government's response to COVID-19. Total liabilities compared to the first quarter of last year were down $8.4 million. Capital expenditures for the quarter were $10.8 million, down $3.9 million from last year's first quarter. We anticipate CapEx will continue to remain at modest levels as we make pragmatic investments into our infrastructure and tech. In the first quarter, cash flow from operations was an outflow of $303.9 million compared to an outflow of $18.8 million during the same period last year.
Yeah, what's that about?
This does not include the impact of an additional $76.9 million received in proceeds from digital asset sales, which is included in investing activities. In order to meet customer demand and drive sales growth amidst the tight supply chain, we maintained inventory valued at $917.6 million as of the close of the quarter, compared to $570.9 million at the close of the prior year's first quarter. In terms of our outlook, we're not providing formal guidance at this time. I want to conclude by touching on the past year and our path forward in 2022. We set out 12 months ago to accomplish something unprecedented in our industry: transform a decaying brick-and-mortar retailer into a technology-led organization that meets customers' needs through stores, through e-commerce properties, and through emerging digital marketplaces and online communities. Our growth and the launch of new tech products, such as our digital asset wallet and the upcoming NFT marketplace, demonstrate that we are, in fact, starting to transform. In the quarters and years ahead, we're going to continue embracing change, putting the customer first, and focusing on long-term stockholder value. I'll leave it there for this quarter.
What?
As always, our board and management appreciate the enthusiasm and support from those who matter most: our customers, employees, and of course, GameStop's stockholders. Thank you.
This concludes today's conference. You may disconnect your lines at this time. Thank you for your participation.
God, these calls are always such garbage, man. That's it. That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. I mean, just read the report to us and give us no info. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Like, they have the ability to move the needle, and they don't. Just give us something. I don't. It's it's so crazy. Like, you have the ability to give us the information, and they're just not coming off of it. I don't understand that. Unless it's something that's just gonna like disrupt like a huge corner of the internet, and they don't want to release it too early to give their competitors time to react. I mean, that makes sense, but craziness. So, only time will tell. Only time will tell. So it doesn't look like the stock's really going to move off of that. I mean, no reason it would. There wasn't really anything that was substantial in terms of news or forward-looking statements. They said they were going to do Q&A, and then they just didn't do Q&A. So that's all she kind of has. But we will see what happens tomorrow.